Hey, good morning, everyone. Sunday, the 12th of July, 2020. Beautiful morning out there. Looks like it's going to be a nice day. Very quick video here. I'm going to run through this quickly. Yep, it's part 2B. No, it's not part 3. No pictures today, and not my pretty face on the screen. Look, I just don't have time. I got stuff to do, and I'm not going to go through that Windows Movie Editor stuff. Not for this. Very quickly. Did I miss something? Yes, I did. And here's what I missed, people. Somebody pointed out the fact the other day when I gave you a list of the top 2 reasons why atheists, agnostics, and most lukewarm Christians do not believe the Bible is an accurate historical record, nor has anything to do with science, so-called. And they're right. They're absolutely right. The number one reason the atheists, the evolutionists, the agnostics do not believe the Bible is the suffering doctrine. Now, what do I mean with that? Here's the question. I'm sure you've heard it before many times. Why does a loving, all-powerful God allow suffering? If God is all-loving, He wouldn't want us to suffer. If He was all-powerful, He'd have the ability to stop the cause of our suffering. And finally, why does God allow good people to suffer? All right. People, you know anything about lawyer logic? I'll give you the best example I can think of. A lawyer would argue there must be ghosts because nobody can prove they don't exist. So by applying this evolutionary, agnostic, atheistic, lukewarm Christian form to the Bible, we find out the 3 points that they use to prove God does not exist. 1, He's all loving. 2, He's all powerful. 3, suffering exists. Therefore, the conclusion, God doesn't exist. Now, can I answer this? Yes, I can. Will I? No, I won't. Why not? Told you, I'm not a Sunday school teacher or a preacher. I am a watchman. But, a very flexible, most fluid, humble watchman. But I'm going to give you guys a couple of clues if you're interested. I will, come on babies, work with me here. 2 scriptural verses. 1 Samuel 8 verse 7. Come on people, this will be painless. And the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people, in all they say unto thee, for they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. That is a major clue, people. Jeremiah 8:9. The wise men are ashamed, they are dismayed and taken. Lo, they have rejected the word of the Lord, and what wisdom is in them. Oh yeah, today's wise men. Boy, the scientists. You know, I told you how many times not all priests wear their collars black on backwards. Many wear white lab coats. Yeah, scientists. My ass. All right. Now, remember that? Jeremiah 8:9. They have rejected the word of the Lord. What was the strong delusion? For they love not the truth. Well, so you're getting a little 2 plus 2 kind of an equation here? Something to that effect? The strong delusion, people. That is what these parts are building to. Yes, part 3 will lead more answers to the strong delusion. Okay. Now, let's get back to pond scum. Arrogant pond scum. How can an evolution-believing being, agnostic, atheistic, lukewarm Christian, speak on morality, good, evil, right, wrong? I mean, how can they? What arrogance? Here's their motto, people: the strong survive. Do what you have to whoever and whenever. Live for today. This is all there is. And they're going to take morality signaling from them. You know, we have rejected the Creator. They did then. Nothing new under the sun. One of the other problems I used to have in the early days of my exploring the Bible is God will visit the sin 7 generations deep to the Father. Now I go, how unfair is that? I mean, one guy commits a heinous sin, and 7 generations later, they're still suffering for it. Does that make sense? Is that fair? Is that fair judgment? Think about this, people. The one who did it 6 generations ago, you're still doing it today, and worse. Where are we today? Take a look at that very early 1960s primetime programming. Andy Griffith Show was prime time. But by 1964, Madalyn Kahn, remember that frozen, ugly sow, in her Supreme Court case, they kept God out of the classroom. They relegated the Ten Commandments to churches. And what do we get for programming soon after? We got Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, Addams Family. Granted, mild by today's standards, but look what we got today, people. There are two kinds of sins per se. Sins of omission and sins of commission. Yes, you can commit an act, but you can also stand idly by while things are happening and say nothing. And that is what this country has come down to. America is being destructively disassembled, and it's full of tight-lipped pussies afraid to speak out. You know, in the service, they had things called REMFs, Rear Echelon Mother Effers. They wouldn't go up to the front lines. They stayed in the back. They were support. All right, well, American pussies, you don't even do that. You're not even REMFs. You can't find a cause that you won't fight for, but can you financially support them? No. You're rejecting God to this day. Boy, I'll tell you what, Trump may be this or that, but how would you like to have Hillary? Boy, I'll tell you what, if Biden gets in, we are a screwed pooch. People, we are a screwed pooch. And it doesn't matter who gets in. You cannot solve spiritual problems with political solutions, and especially politicians that have the morality of, dare not say it. They went a-whoring in early Israel, the real Israel, back in the Old Testament. They went a-whoring after other gods, like a bunch of drunken sailors in the Subic Bay Naval Station in the Philippines. They went a-whoring. Are we better today? Do you see the wisdom of visiting the seventh generation for the sins of something that happened 7 generations prior? Got to think about these things, people. Yeah, I can answer those questions. I can respond to lawyer logic. I can take your 3 conclusions. And the first thing I'd ask you is the very first question I'd ask you of the 3 conclusions. Let me get back to that real quickly. Now, how could an all-loving, all-powerful God allow suffering? And why do good people suffer? First question I'd ask, who said you are good? You can lie to me, people, but look in the mirror, lie to yourself. Like I said, country's going down the tubes. Oh, did I touch on the news? Yeah, let's touch on the news real briefly. They're calling my old home stomping grounds, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Murderopolis. How's that disbanding the Minneapolis police working out for you? I love it. Now, remember old Colin Kaepernick, whatever the F his name was? Yeah. Disney, ESPN, are going to hire him and make this poor oppressed minority have a docuseries showed on ESPN. You still watching ESPN, people? Why on earth are you watching ESPN? Amusements. Texas may be going into a lockdown. Okay, that's just a quick video I had to do for you today. I got stuff to do. You know I got stuff to do. Enjoy the weather, people. I am working on part 3. But yes, I missed something. And yes, some of you thinkers out there are pointing it out. Hey, watchman, look to the left. Okay, I did. You got me. Till then, you guys have a good day.